Hi guys, it's Ameriie and I'm here today with the top 10 books that I want to read that I own. Now, I did pretty well. I did this video last year and I have to say, although I didn't finish, I did pretty well. I think I read 5 of those books that I wanted to definitely get to, because it's all about trying to read the books that I already own. And I don't know, it's like I take 2 steps forward and then I take 5 steps back. No matter what, I keep buying books. I think I did pretty good last year. I did read 5 of the books, or 4 or 5 of the books that I wanted to definitely read from my own shelves, and I'm hoping to have an even better year this time, especially because we only have 6 months left. So some of the books that I wanted to read, I did read already, which is why they're on this list. So if I don't do so well at the end of the year, that's kind of like part of my out. White Teeth by Zadie Smith. I actually just picked this up, so I kind of like did this to myself because it wasn't on my shelf before a few weeks ago. I don't know too much about this. I know it deals with race and class, and it's in the UK, 3 families, 3 generations. I've been wanting to read some of her work for a long time. She just recently came out with Swing Time, but I didn't want to read that until I read something that she'd done already first. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I've been meaning to get to this forever. Basically about a girl who goes to college and she's really into fandom, and so she writes fan fiction. She and her sister kind of grow apart, and then she meets a guy, this guy here I guess, who embraces it and embraces her. And I don't know, I just really want to just read it. It's also autographed. You see the book plate? The Sea of Tranquility by Katja Mille. This book came out a while ago. I believe it came out in like 2010 or 2011. It's been on my radar for a very long time, and some of my trusted reader friends really liked it. Oh, 2012. Friendship/romance between 2 main characters. A boy who seems to have, like, tragedy seems to follow him. Everyone he knows dies, and so people avoid him because he becomes like synonymous with death, essentially. And the girl who goes through a terrible tragedy she's trying to like recover from. That's all I know. That's all I wanted to know. That's why I didn't know much about it. Here's a little piece of it. I hate my left hand. I hate to look at it. I hate it when it stutters and trembles and reminds me that my identity is gone. But I look at it anyway because it also reminds me that I'm going to find the boy who took everything from me. I'm going to kill the boy who killed me, and when I kill him, I'm going to do it with my left hand. I believe she was a violinist or some kind of musician. The tragedy is that she's no longer able to play. From this point on, I really don't know anything else. So I've been wanting to get to this for a really long time, and I see it on my shelf, and every time I see it on my shelf, I'm always thinking, okay, I'm gonna get to you, and I just never do. This is one I definitely want to read before the year's out. The Wizard of Oz. These are the first 5 novels in the Wizard of Oz series by L. Frank Baum. I was obsessed with the Wizard of Oz when I was a kid. Obsessed. Something about the stories were haunting, creepy. There's always like in my opinion, maybe it's not there, maybe it's just the way I was reading it, there was always like a sinister edge to the Wizard of Oz. Maybe it's there in the movie a little, but if you actually read the books, it's like this wonderful fairyland, but you never think that this is a fairyland in which nothing bad will happen. There's always some potential danger, some cruel, sinister thing right around the corner. Like, that's the way I felt when I would read the books, which is why I kind of felt like they were fantastical, but they kind of felt like horror novels to me. Even like the characters that you meet, like, okay, Jack, love Jack, he's so sweet. The Scarecrow, that's scary. He looked really creepy in the movie that they made of him, like Return to Oz. Even reading the book, you have the Patchwork Girl. These were like horror elements. They were characters that felt frightening to me. The Land of Oz is laced with horror. That's just what it's always been to me. But I loved the books so much. Maybe it's because I read the Brothers Grimm, the real story behind all the fairy tales, which were pretty bloody. I don't know. Let me know what you think. If you've read The Wizard of Oz, if you've read some of the books in this series, do you agree with me? Do you see that? Perfume, The Story of a Murderer by Patrick Siskind. They made a movie about this. This book is about a young boy who is born without a smell. He's orphaned, and then he grows up, not purposely, but he becomes a serial killer. He's trying to search for the perfect scent. He ends up smelling women and all of these people, and then he murders to capture the scent, that elusive scent. Pretty creepy. Really looking forward to reading it. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I've been meaning to read this since it first came out. This is a first edition. It's so gorgeous. I've heard so many great things about it. I know you have to be in the mood to read this because apparently there's a lot of description, and the circus essentially is a character. There is a plot. It's pretty slow, so you have to be in the mood, and that's probably what kind of kept me putting it off over and over again. But I want to finally get to this. I mean, it's been sitting on my shelves forever. It's time. Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This has not been sitting on my shelves forever. I'm really looking forward to reading this, and I'm going to read this sooner rather than later. I actually got it right. Well, I ordered it right before my trip to the UK and to the Middle East, and I was hoping that it would like come right before I left, which it did. But then I had zero room in my luggage, and I couldn't even, I had no room to bring anything with me, so I was kind of sad about that. Ended up, of course, bringing my iPad so I could read a lot of library e-loans, but I was sad to leave this behind. But I'm home now, so I'm really looking forward to reading this. You know what the best thing is? Reading a book like right when you get it. When you bring a book home, whether it's sent to you, or whether you go to the bookstore and you pick up that book, like seeing something, wanting to read it, cracking it open, and just starting, that is like the best feeling ever. I think a lot of people who aren't, like readers and just like reader types don't totally understand that satisfaction, the glee that's there. I'm hoping to capture a scrap of that since it's still less than 2 months since I purchased this book. Pachinko by Min-jin Lee, South Korean family who moves to Japan, and we follow them through the generations to see how they fare. And apparently it's heart-wrenching. I don't know if I'm really ready for that, but I'll steel myself. I can finally read Donna Tartt's The Goldfinch. This was actually part of one of the top 10 books that I wanted to read before last year, I think it was, along with her novel, The Secret History. But I did get through The Secret History. I wanted to make sure that I read that first. So now that I've read that, really looking forward to getting to this. I keep saying that I'm really looking forward to getting to this and that. Obviously I am. It's redundant because that's what the whole topic is. But I don't know why I keep going to that. It's kind of like finishing off the statement, the sentence. Otherwise it'll just be like this until I read the first book. That's weird, right? I'm gonna try that on the next one. Night Film by Marisha Pessl. Okay, this is an exception because I have not read her first book, Special Topics in Calamity Physics. I meant to, it's right there on my shelf. I started and then I wasn't really sure if I was going to finish it. So this is one of the times where I've given myself an exception. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into Night Film because I was really excited about reading this book when it first came out. Like, ready to jump in, and the only reason why I didn't do it was because I didn't read her first novel, and I feel like that's kind of like been blocking me from reading this, and I'm not going to do that anymore. See, that's just a weird thing to end on. You know what? That actually worked. I could have just stopped right there. I'm really looking forward to reading this. There you have it, the top 10 books that I want to read from my shelves this year, 2017. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know below the books that you've been meaning to get to. It doesn't have to be a new book. It could be something that's been sitting on your shelf for a long time. It could be something that you just recently bought, like with me, with white teeth, that you recently bought, but you really want to make sure you don't let sit. My stomach is grumbling. Did you hear it? I really need to eat something. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye!